Broadcasting. Facebook. Sorry, YouTube is coming on. All right. Here we go. So, welcome. So excited to have you guys here. I left my title over there, but today we're going to talk about how to save for education and college rental or home equity versus 529 savings versus Roth IRA versus whole life insurance versus other. So this is a lot of stuff we're going to cover today. Hi, Mazzy94. If you're not from the United States, it might not be as interesting to you. Hi, Adelbert Jr. But if you are from the United States or somewhere you're interested in sending your kids to the United States, this might be interesting to you. So let's do this. I'm excited. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am before I begin right into the topic. My name is May Doldao. I live in Honolulu, Hawaii with my son, Jordan. He's 6 years old. And my husband, Jamal. So we live in Waikiki, really close to the beach. And when I first started out doing internet marketing and getting into online marketing, I had a dream of being rich, to become financially free. Okay, back then I had a lot of debt. All right, hi Nirvana, welcome. So back in 2011, I found some of my old financials. I owed over $40,000, okay, to a bunch of different accounts, like over 8 different credit lines that I owed over $40,000. I was not good with my money, didn't really organize it well. I get bank fees all the time, so wasn't good with money. And then fast forward 2016, in 2012, I married, well, let's do 2012. So 2011, lots of debt. 2012, married my husband, right, Jamal, and he had even more debt than me because he had a house underwater, he had a credit card bill, he had a car loan. So I didn't have a car loan, I didn't have a house underwater, I just had credit card debt. Mine was actually pretty high though, 40-something thousand. He only had like 10,000, but with all his combined debt, he had over $200,000 of debt. All right, so that's a lot. So we get married and we have like $300,000 in debt, okay? Something like that. You know, it's a lot of debt, but we're like, we'll figure out a way. So fast forward from 2012 to 2016, we have 0 debt. All the debt is gone. In addition, we're making almost $500 a month, every month in passive income, which we pay to ourselves. And that's mostly from dividend yielding stocks. And afterwards, I quit my job that year, okay, that 2016. Yeah, 2016 is the year I quit my job. In December 24th, my last day at work at a job at a bank, at First Hawaiian Bank in Hawaii. I really appreciate that bank, by the way. They are awesome, you know, great bank. But I quit. I no longer work there, you know. And it's not because I didn't like the people. I just didn't want to have a job anymore. The people are wonderful. Okay. So then I started coaching, right? I started coaching people on what I did to pay off all that debt and make passive income at the same time. So I learned through learning, going to seminars, reading books. You're supposed to, if you want to become financially free, focus on what you want, right? Hi, Sin007. If you've ever seen the movie Secret, they say if you don't want debt, you don't focus on debt, right? You set it on auto pay and then you focus on money. You focus on getting rich. So I decided to start focusing. Hi, Nikume Giava, welcome. Where are you from? Let me know where you guys are from. Hi, Zik, you're welcome. Let me know where you guys are from. So I focused on making money instead of the debt, and that's how I could do it. And so I started coaching people and created mastermind groups. And this blog, I've been blogging ever since I still had the job. I was blogging, but now I'm still blogging. My health got way better when I quit my job. I used to be sick all the time, and I was sick 2 weeks ago, but that was like the first time I've been really sick since 2016. Okay, guys, it's been a long time. So I stay healthy most of the time. And not only that, my whole family's healthier. My son's healthier. My husband's healthier. We used to get sick all the time. We don't do that anymore because why? Free time, happiness. You know, I'm doing what I love. I'm a mother now, full-time mother. I used to be a part-time mother because I had to go to work. I thought I had to go to work. Hi, Gaucho. Welcome to Periscope. Welcome. So there you go. And then in 2017, we bought our first condo. In 2018, we bought another condo. In 2019, we sold one, bought another condo. So, so funny. I have very little people on the broadcast, but I still got a crop. Someone saying weird things. Block someone. It's hilarious. Anyway, So there you have it. I went on my first cruise in 2017. Went to those week-long cruises to Mexico. Hi, JP4 Perry. I'd never been to Mexico before, so it was fun. I went on a month of vacation in 2017, not all at once, but to different places: Washington D.C., LA, Toronto, Niagara Falls, Mexico. Or I said, it was amazing. Okay, and 2018, like I said, all these properties, we started an Airbnb business. So right now, we own this really nice condo in Waikiki. It's so big, more space than I've lived in since I was like a kid. ILUH3417. So this place is double size, the last condo we lived in. It's just amazing to me. It has a beautiful view. Actually, Periscope, I'll let you see the view. Let me just switch the camera. See, check it out. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Diamond Head, yeah? So if you're on Periscope, you can actually see. If you're on YouTube, sorry, I'm not showing it to you. But look, see, I'm on YouTube right now. Isn't that cool? So yeah, I've got this beautiful view of Diamond Head. Welcome, guys. Hi, Sao Paulo. Let me know where you guys are from. So that's my story. I went from like really in debt to now we have no debt. The only debt we have is equity, not equity, mortgage debt, which is for this condo and the one that is a business. And we do not pay more for our mortgage than we would pay in rent. And the Airbnb mortgage is being paid for from the Airbnb business. We do not pay. So that is an investment. So there you have it. That's kind of a summary. So if you're here and you've never met me, now you know I'm someone who walks the talk. You know, I talk about financial freedom and changing your finances, and I mean it. I do it in my real life. Hi, Justity. Welcome to the live. Let me know where you're from. So I'm the kind of person, when I talk about money, it's because I've done it, because I know what I'm doing, and because I have experience, all right? So let's begin. And a lot of my blogs and these topics, they're inspired because I want to learn something. So then I go research and then I blog about it and I share my information. So if you're interested, if you really love this broadcast when it's done and you're not on my email list, go to my blog, yesfinanciallyfree.com. All right, put your first name, email address in there. And if you don't know that, it's in my profile in Periscope. Just click the link. And on YouTube, it's underneath the video. If you're on my blog, you're on my blog. So put your first name and your email address and you get on my email list. You also get a free copy of my ebook, Working Parents Guide to Financial Freedom. So you get that as a free gift just to get on my email list. And then you will be emailed replays of all my broadcasts. You'll also be emailed about what topics I'm going to do in the future. All right. So I just wanted to tell you that so you can get that resource. All right. Now, anytime while I'm broadcasting, feel free to talk to me on Periscope. I'm not sure how to do comments on YouTube Live yet. So if you want me, just go on Periscope. My Periscope channel is May Duldulao, MEYDULDULAO. So you just go there and you can start talking to me. Hi, Ahan, welcome. Okay, so what are the differences? You know, we want to save for college in the United States, right? If I wanted to go to the college, I went to a college. The college I went to was called Dartmouth, right? Dartmouth College, private college. I looked up online just for my research how much it costs to go there. They estimate to go to Dartmouth College now, if I was a college student right now wanting to go to Dartmouth College, I would pay $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year. That is expensive, right, guys? When I was working at the bank, my salary was like $34,000 a year. And I didn't get to keep all that money. You know, the government took a big chunk, like a third of that money. So I only got 2/3 of that. So to pay for someone to go to college for $30,000, hi, Mustafa Taban, welcome. To pay for someone to go to college for a whole year and spend $30,000 each year for a total of $120,000 over a 4-year period, for most parents, that's pretty daunting, right? It's almost impossible. So sometimes we just want to give up when we think about it. Hi, 50R676, welcome. Where are you from? So I started deciding I needed to research this. I needed to find out more about how to save for my son, Jordan, his college. Okay. Now there's a lot of things I've heard over the years. So we're just going to jump into it right now. We're going to figure out together what is best to use. What are we going to use? So I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each one so you can understand the difference. And I'm going to tell you what we're using personally right now. Okay. So the first method I'm going to talk about is called rental or home equity. Now, what is rental or home equity? The reason I'm talking about this first is because this is what my husband and I are doing right now. Okay. What that means is to fund our child's education, we buy a property, right? And if it's our home where we live, we're paying the mortgage every month, right? And by the time he's old enough to go to college, there will be enough equity. So every time you pay a mortgage, you're paying down the loan. You're paying down the loan. They call that equity, all right? So how much of the loan you've paid off is like equity. How much do you own in the house? That's your equity. That's your share of how much you own in your own home, okay? Now, if you're renting, you have no equity. This is only if you've bought your property. Hi, Richard. Welcome. Let me know where you're from. So, home equity. Home equity, you buy a place, and then you pay for your mortgage. And then when your kids are old enough, you can take out a loan. You can either take out a line of credit, like it's called a second mortgage. Oh, you're from Pearl City. Wow. Hey, what's up? Or is it Pearl City? Is it Pearl City or is it a typo? Because if you're from Pearl City in Hawaii, that's one thing. But if you're in Pearl City, where is that? Is that in Hawaii? Is that what we're talking about? Just making sure. So if you're saving money, okay, and it's in their home equity, and when the time comes for your kids to go to college, one option is to get a home equity line of credit, which is like a second mortgage, and then Pearl City. Okay, just checking. You had a typo. It's nice to see you. Thanks for the heart. You can give me some more. Hey, Dagestan, welcome to the live. Thanks for the second heart. You might want to just keep tapping. Hi, TC. Welcome. Loving the love. Thanks for some love. Welcome back, Richard. Let me know where you guys are from, TC. Welcome to Periscope. All right. Yeah, nice, nice. So, home equity. Do you guys have any questions about home equity? You're paying down your mortgage. Another way to take out money with your home is if you're paying down your mortgage and your kid's about to go to college, you could refinance. Now, if the mortgage rate is better, if the mortgage rate is better, lower when your kid is going to college, then you could refinance your mortgage loan. Or if you've already paid it off, you could get a mortgage loan. Hi, Siddharth, welcome. And then you could refi. Nice to see you. Welcome. So you can refinance your home, take out money that way, and then you're going to pay. And sometimes your mortgage payment might even be lower because if you refinance it at a lower rate, your mortgage payment's going down. Most of what you pay on mortgages. Do you speak English? What do you think? Do you think I speak English? That's your question. Yes. So most of your mortgage payments in the beginning all go toward interest anyway. So interest is a huge, huge factor in how much you pay in a mortgage. Hi, Nevzatas. So the first option I'm talking about is home equity. You can either you buy a home when your kids are babies, right? You're paying the mortgage. By the time they're going to college, you have enough equity that you can refi. Now, I don't know if you'll have that much equity. If it costs $120,000 to put your kid through 4 years of college and more than one, you would have to have a really expensive home to put them through college. So that's another issue there, okay? So let's move on to the second one. Aside from home equity, and some people have really expensive homes. In Hawaii, most people's houses are worth almost $1 million. This is how it is. Hi, CNGL6. And that doesn't mean they look like $1 million home. It just means they're worth $1 million. Doesn't mean they're pretty. I write through a translator. Do I distract from the conversation? No, it's fine. You can write through a translator. Hi, Lomoski. Welcome. Second option with equity is rental property equity, okay? Rental property equity, the cool thing about it is you could buy one rental property. You could probably buy at least 5 or 6 or even more rental properties by the time your kids are in college if you start when they're babies, okay? All right, because we've already bought 2 rental properties, and Jordan is 6, right? And we sold one, though, to buy this place that we live in because we bought a bigger place. So we have 1. So it took us 6 years to get to 1 rental property. Hi, Freddie FG. So if this current rate, we'll have maybe 2 or 3 or maybe more by the time he goes to college. So what's the difference between home equity and rental property equity? Very big difference, right? If you have a rental property and you bought it, smart, I would like to look at your street. Oh, that's nice. Go to Google Maps. So if you buy a rental property, right, and you're not paying the expenses, so you're smart, you bought a rental property, it's a good deal, not a bad deal. I've seen plenty of people buy rental properties and they're bad deals, they're losing money. Let's say you're smart enough to buy a rental property where you're actually breaking even or making money, okay? So you bought a rental property, you're breaking even, making money, right? When your kids are old enough to go to college, you do the same thing. You can get a equity line of credit on your rental, or you could refinance it. Or if you've paid off the equity, you can get a mortgage on it to help pay for your kids to go to college, okay? Now, like I said, if it costs $30,000 a year, and by the time they're going to college, who knows what it's going to cost, right? That's the thing. It might even go higher. So the nice thing about real estate, it's not guaranteed, but a lot of times real estate will also go up in value as well, okay? You talk too fast, I don't understand anything. Hi, Huso. I have another website you could check out. I used to be an English teacher. Just go to eslteacherguide.blogspot.com. And that has a whole website about English. I used to teach English and I talked real slow. Go there. This is not the place to learn English. Okay. All right. So rental property. If you do it right and you buy one and it's making you money or you're breaking even, the likelihood of you being able to buy another one is really high. Thanks to the hearts, because you can afford it, because you bought one and you're making money, you're breaking even. So that means you can afford another one, right? So by the time your kids go to college, if you own more than one, let's say you own 4, right? And let's say the equity in all of them is at least 100,000, then you could send 2 kids, 3 kids to college. You could definitely, if you refi and you paid off the mortgage and all that by the time they go. Now you probably haven't paid it off, but you'll have a better chance of paying for 1 or 2 kids to go to college. And that has been my current strategy, okay? Hi, LKHGFDA, welcome. All right. So this is what Jamel and I do towards saving for college. Now, we're not the only ones who do this. I was talking to a mom at soccer practice just the other day, and she said, I asked her, so what are you doing to save for your kids' college? She's got 4 boys. Okay, 4, all right? She's got 4. She said they have their rental property, right? They have a house, a rental property, so it's worth probably at least $1 million in a nice neighborhood. They're renting it out, and they're going to use the equity to send them to college, okay? And now that house is worth like $1 million, so they definitely do have enough. If they're paying down the mortgage and some renter's paying it, then they probably will have enough to put their kids through college. I don't know what college will cost, though, but you know what I mean. So this is a very valid strategy. I'm doing it. There's another lady, like I said, at the soccer practice I talked to doing it. So rental property equity, all right? That's one way to put your kids through college, all right? This is obviously not the traditional means that you hear about all the time. People will say save money for kids in college by putting it in a savings account. This is not. And the reason we're not doing a savings account is because savings account interest rates are very, very low. Yeah, they're really low. And we feel like the housing market is more, you'll get a better return and it's more stable. Actually, I don't know if it's more stable than a savings account, but you'll get a better return. Yeah. So that's how we look at it. Now, it's not guaranteed. The housing market could crash when my kids go to college, all kinds of things could happen. So, Hawaii might decide to raise property taxes so high that we can't even keep the properties, who knows? There's all kinds of factors. All right. So I'm not saying it's a guaranteed strategy, but that's the one my husband and I are using right now. Hi, Killick. Welcome. Let's talk about the second strategy, 529 savings. 529 savings. Oh, there are comments on my live video. Who knew? How funny is that? They look like they're dirty comments, though. I wonder if I can block people on YouTube Live. Let me see. I can hide, but I don't know if I can block. Interesting. How cool is that? Oh, anyway, I'm getting comments on my YouTube Live. That's so cool. That's the first time I've ever had comments. Okay, even though the guy's kind of a pervert, but whatever. I would block you if I knew how. Okay, moving on. So the next strategy, 529 savings. You want to save for your kids' college. 529 savings is highly recommended by a lot of people. My financial advisor said not to do it when Jordan was born. And the reason he said that is because Hawaii does not give any tax incentives to contribute to a 529. Okay? So I'm just going to hide my comments in YouTube because I'll have to figure out how to block people. So I'll just Just hide it so I can't see it. Okay, moving on. So 529 is a savings plan where you put money into it, and it's a state savings plan. You put money in and you can invest it according to whatever plans the state has. Now, sometimes your state will give you a tax incentive to contribute to a 529. Like if you contribute $1,000, you can take that off your taxes. And then, sometimes they do things like that. Now in Hawaii, we don't have that. So in Hawaii, if you put aside money in the Hawaii 529 plan, you get no tax breaks, okay? Just so you guys are clear. But there are a lot of states that do give you tax breaks. So that might be something to consider if you want to save money for your kids. Now in Hawaii, like I said, we don't get tax breaks. So I did call some people and I found out they have some cool 529 plans. One that was recommended to me was in California. They have a 529 plan that anyone can join in. You don't have to be a California resident to do their 529 plan. And they have very low cost index funds in there. So if I wanted to do, I blogged about it about a month ago, the All Seasons Portfolio by Ray Dalio, where you put 30% in stocks, 40% long-term bonds. Hi, Super Dave, welcome. 15% short-term bonds, 7.5% commodities, 7.5% in gold. He recommended that, and he said it was averaging at 9.6% growth every year. Not every year, but average was 9.6 something. So, that seemed like a good strategy that I was thinking maybe I could invest money for Jordan in this all seasons portfolio. And one way to do it is if you find a 529 plan that allows for the kind of investments you want. And if you're in Hawaii, it doesn't matter which one you use, so you can shop. You can shop other states. Hey, H Kangaroo. And then find one that has the right investment things and you can put it in there. Now, why would you do that? If you don't get a tax incentive to put money in a 529, why use a 529? The reason is if it grows in value, okay? It's a big if. But let's say you did good, you did the all seasons or you did something and your portfolio grew at 9% every year and it did actually increase in value by the time your son or daughter goes to college. It is bigger than the money you put in. If that's the case, when you take money out, and you can only take money out of a 529 to pay for, you can take money out for anything, but you only get the tax incentive, tax break, if you pay for college, okay? So you take the money out and you pay for college tuition. You are not going to be taxed on any of the money in there, even the money you made with the money. So all the money that grew, not taxed. So as long as you're paying for education, you're not taxed. And you're not taxed as it's growing, and you're not taxed when you pay for education. So that's why the account is a good account for parents who want to save. So if you have an investment strategy and you want to put money in it, a 529, that is one good way to grow money for your kids tax deferred. All right. And then you don't have to pay taxes on it. Hi, 356. Now, a lot of numbers. Hi, Asha. Welcome. The thing about a 529 is if you don't use it for education for your kids, you will be taxed on money that you take out. Just so you guys understand that, okay? Now, another thing about the 529, people say, oh, when I'm applying to financial aid, will they look at things and will it reduce my financial aid? For my case, I put on my blog a calculator where you can actually go and calculate what your financial aid would be right now if you were a student, or pretend your kid is all grown up and just plug in the numbers and you can find out right now how much financial aid you would qualify for. So I highly recommend you just use that calculator. Okay, I put it on my blog. Just go. And you can just Google it too. I think that's how I found it. I don't qualify for much financial aid. If Jordan was a college student right now, we would qualify for like $5,500 loan and then $1,600 work study. And that's it. That's all he would qualify for. But it doesn't matter how much I save for him. So what's more important for me is that I have enough money to put him in college, right? Because I'm not going to get any financial aid except for like $6,000, all right? So if I don't save up, he ain't going to college, basically, all right? Or he's going to have a huge student debt, and I don't want to give my son that. That's horrible. I wouldn't want to give anyone debt. I used to have it. It sucked. So anyway, moving on. That's 529. So some people are concerned that it'll affect your financial aid. I put a calculator. You can check. It didn't have any effect for me. Now, if you do qualify for a lot of financial aid, I've heard it only counts as 5% of their formula, so it's not even that big a deal. That's what I've heard. And I did put a link to an article explaining it more fully in my blog. The next investment vehicle is the Roth IRA. So we've talked about home equity, rental equity. Now we're going to talk about the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is a retirement account, all right? It's a retirement account that works kind of like a 529, except it's for retirement, all right? A 529 is for education, all right? A Roth IRA is for retirement, which means you can take the money out tax-free as long as you're at retirement age, 59 and a half years old. So if one of you, okay, the parents, are going to be 59 and a half years old when your kid's going to college, then this is a very valid strategy because it grows in the Roth IRA, all right, just like a 529, tax deferred, no taxes. When you take it out, you don't pay taxes on any of the gain either. Same as a 529, except you don't have to use it only for education. You could use it for anything. You can use the money to buy a car, buy books, buy plane tickets to see your kid in college, buy plane tickets to fly them home. Who knows? You can use the money for anything. So a Roth IRA is a very nice alternative to a 529. Now, what's the difference? Is there a big difference between the two? Like I said, you have to be retirement age to take money out tax-free, okay? So you have to be 59 and a half. If you're not 59 and a half, all right, then you can take money out. Hi, Mohammed, welcome, 70. You can take some money out for education penalty-free, but not tax-free. So it's important to understand that. Welcome to my Periscope. Thanks for being on. I am great. Thank you. So we have the 529. We have the Roth IRA. What are the implications of this Roth IRA? Hi, SGH. Thanks for the heart. So the Roth IRA, it's kind of like I said, it's very similar to 529. It has more flexibility. You can spend it on anything, but you have to be retirement age to use it, okay? Thank you. And the other factor is if you're doing financial aid again, okay, the money you take out of a Roth IRA counts as income, all right? So it will increase your income. So if your income goes up high enough, you don't qualify for financial aid. And that's really why I don't qualify. My husband and I do not qualify for financial aid because our income is too high to qualify for financial aid, okay? So if that's a factor, if you really don't make a lot of income and you plan on having financial aid, then pulling money out of your Roth IRA counts as income, and they will use that in their calculation of financial aid. I guess it's like 40 to 50% determination. So that's something to consider. And they did say in an article I was reading, you could wait until your kids are all through college and then pull the money out of your Roth IRA and then pay off their student loans then, and then it doesn't count toward financial aid because you're already through college. So that's another option. So hi, LCTG 2015. Hi, King BH. Welcome. So I would say if you're considering 529 Roth IRA, it really comes down to, you're conducting a lesson at school now. It's the school of life. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to turn on my fan. I do live in Hawaii, so it's kind of warm. Let's turn on my fan. Woo! Okay. So we've talked about a lot of stuff. So you can use a 529 or a Roth IRA to save for college. If you are going to be old enough, 59 and a half, when your kids go to college, a Roth IRA might be your best option as long as you don't need to worry about financial aid considerations and that's not a factor for you. Hi, Kingsley and Bash, welcome. IRAs are usually more, they're easier to invest in a lot of different things because IRAs, you can do it at any Roth IRAs, you can find a very low cost brokerage or find your favorite place that has the funds you want to invest in. You could do the all seasons portfolio with a Roth IRA very easily. Okay, I'm not sure if you could. Thanks for the hearts, guys. Hey, Marcus. Hi, Vardas. How welcome, guys. Thanks for being on the Periscope. So Roth IRA, in terms of finding investment options, you can get a lot more power and flexibility with where you can put your money in a Roth IRA than a 529. The 529, you have to really hunt through all the plans and see if any of them will have the funds you want to use. Okay? All right, so now we've hit 3 of them. We've already talked about home and rental property equity. We've talked about 529 plans. We've talked about Roth IRAs. All right? Now what we're going to talk about is whole life insurance. Whole life insurance. Cash value. Hi, Atlas. Welcome. Now, why are we talking about whole life insurance? The reason, Brazil, welcome. We're talking about whole life insurance because my life insurance advisor, who is now a financial advisor, not just life insurance, he has whole life insurance for his kids, and that's one of his biggest strategies for sending his kids to college. You are also. All right, nice to meet you. Thanks. Marcus is my name too. I guess Marcus is your name. Where are you from, Marcus? Got an annuity. Okay, so my tax advisor, the person who prepares my tax returns, she uses whole life insurance to save for her kids' college education. Okay. As soon as they're born, she gets a whole life policy on each of her kids. Hi, Smalnia. Now, I heard this and I'm like, what happens if you don't pay? Are you talking about your premium? Okay, I'll get to more. Let's talk about this. So they are using whole life insurance. Okay, good question. We'll get there. They are using whole life insurance to fund their kids' education. All right. So I'm like, why? So when Jordan was born, I did get a whole life policy, not on him. I got a whole life policy on me, and my husband got one, and we also got term life too. We wanted to have life insurance because we wanted to make sure, if we died, our son, we could take care of our kid. Maybe you can help me. I'm coming into cash. Okay. Stop for a second. First question. So what is whole life insurance? Basically, it's a life insurance policy that's much more expensive than term life insurance, okay? Just so you guys understand. Okay, you're into millions. That's great. I don't think I can help you then. I think you're going to need to talk to someone who's a millionaire to help you with millions. That's all I got to say to that, because I'm not a millionaire. So I'm not going to be able to help you. I would always talk to someone with more money to get advice about the money I have. That's something I'll tell you right now. Hi, Diamond1405. Welcome. Okay. And if you're working with a big company, still, the person you're working with, if that person you're talking to is not a millionaire, do not listen to them. I'm just telling you right now. Don't. I don't care if they work for a company that's worth $1 million. The person you're talking to is not a millionaire. Forget it. Don't listen to their advice. I get my real estate advice from a real estate investor who is a multimillionaire. Okay, that's how I work. That's how we do it. Hi, Kieran, welcome. So I suggest you do the same thing. All right. So life insurance, whole life insurance, instead term life insurance, which is like the kind of basic life insurance. Welcome, Wevla. Welcome, guys. You pay a premium, so you pay this fee, right? And basically, if you die, this big sum of money is paid out to a beneficiary, somebody you say, I want the money to go to this person. Maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's who knows. That's what term life insurance is. Whole life insurance, you pay a premium, but part of that premium is put toward cash value. So it means you can access cash from your whole life. I listen to you, I work with minimum wage. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for sharing. So, whole life insurance, it's kind of like forced savings account, kind of. And it's forcing you to save the amount of the insurance, okay? So let's say you got $100,000 of life insurance, yeah? Of whole life insurance, and you're paying the premium. And you're gonna pay the premium until you're 95 years old. That's actually what my policy is. It's like paid up till 95, it means I gotta pay it till I'm 95 years old. Look at a policy I have. So, excuse me. Something in my teeth. So basically, you pay the premium until the life insurance policy is worth $100,000, okay? So the way they project it is if you're paying your premium, by the time you're 95 years old, you will have put in $100,000. Great work there. Bridesonpodcast.com. Cool. That's cool advice. Maybe later I'll get into it. Maybe I'll pick it up later. So term life. Yeah, so some people will just do term life. I am mentioning whole life just because I know people who are using it to save for their kids' college, okay? So how do you do that? So let me just talk about what their thinking is and why they're doing it. So whole life insurance kind of like forcing you savings, all right? Now, if you do it for let's say your kid's born, you start a whole life policy on yourself or your kid. I'm not sure. You'd have to look at the actuarial numbers. It's obviously cheaper on a kid because they're less likely to die as long as they have no health problems. But you'd have to look at all the blah, 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 okay? There's all kinds of things. We got all these things going on here. .com, Bernardus, Invictus, Golden, welcome. So you get a whole life policy. Let's say you pay into it for 18 years. Your kid's going to go to college. How much is it worth? Basically, by the time your kid goes to college, thanks to the hearts, with a whole life policy, it'll be worth more than you put in by then. If you're paying your premiums every year and you're doing what you should be doing, the cash value will be higher than the premiums, okay? Thanks to the hearts. When I got my whole life policy, I looked at it. It takes 11 years for the amount of cash value to equal the premium I put in, okay? Is that minus the fees? That includes all fees, because the reason it takes 11 years for it to equal the amount of money you put in is because the first 11 years you're paying for fees, okay? Actually, you're always paying for fees, but after 11 years, the cash value has grown so that the extra money going in covers the fees, basically, and then it's just extra, and then it's growing. So with and you can tell because you get a policy quote. They have a table in there, and you can see there's the guaranteed side, and then there's the projected side. Projected is like what are interest rates the policy is paying out right now, okay? Guaranteed is what is the minimum. Like if the market crashes, interest rates tank, you still get this much. So the minimum is good to look at. The projected is okay too, but understand that's what the difference is between the two, okay? So after 11 years, the money you put in the whole life insurance policy is like equal to the cash value. Now, after 11 years, it's more. So if you start when your kid's a baby, by the time they're 18, you have saved money. And I think I calculated with my policy at the time because they were talking about it. So I calculated it comes out to about 3%, 3% annual percentage yield. Okay, the return on the cash value. So 3% is better than a savings account. All right. If you put your money in a savings account right now, and it's a high yield savings account, all you're making is 1.9%. Okay. And for the past 10 years or so, that's pretty much all you would be making on a savings account, right? Because they used to pay 0.9, and then they went up very slowly from 0.9 to like 1, and then they went to, you guys know, okay? If you're in the United States, you know, interest rates have been really low for 10 years or so, yeah? So if you want to save money and you want to be real conservative and you don't want to do the stock market because you're afraid it's going to crash, you don't want to do real estate, or maybe you want to do your savings and something more risky. Maybe you want savings and you want to do stock investing or savings and real estate or whatever. Then whole life is actually an option, all right? It's not actually a bad option. It's okay. It pays more than savings. Pays about 3%. It's not super awesome. Pays about 3%. Now, if you start doing paid up additions is if your policy allows you to put in extra money to get more insurance. So maybe you put in $3,000 and you get $15,000 more of insurance, okay? That's a paid up addition. Some policies allow you to do that. Our policy does. My advisor was like, get one with paid up additions. That's where, so I was like, okay. I was just trusting him, I didn't know what this whole life policy would do. So if you actually pay your premium one time instead of monthly, you just pay it once when it's due, you automatically get a paid up addition. I've been getting an automatic $100 paid up addition every year just because I'm paying it early, I guess, instead of monthly. Hi, Cork. Same amount of money, just more insurance, more cash value. 628. Welcome. So you get this paid up addition, and then what happens is if you wanted to add more money, let's say you want to put in $100 a month or something, that $100 paid up addition goes into cash value. All of it does, the whole $100. So nothing's taken out for life insurance costs because the premium covers that. And if the current rate is like 5%, that means your $100 a month is growing at 5%, if that makes sense. So that's higher than the 3%. So if you start doing paid up additions, you can raise your overall ROI from 3% up to like 4%, 5%. Depends on what the rates are. Okay. Now, like I said, the guaranteed lowest rate in the whole life policy was 4%. It takes 11 years or so if you don't do any paid up additions to get there. Okay, if you do paid up additions, like monthly $100, it shaves the time off because you're just making more interest on your cash value. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. If you find whole life insurance complicated, it's because it's kind of hard to understand. That's why I haven't really done this strategy. Now I still pay my whole life insurance premium, right? And I still do the paid up addition because I pay it all at once. And my dividends are being reinvested as paid up additions. So maybe I'll decide to. I don't know. I'm still debating, all right? But it is better only if you pay your premiums. Now, if you're the kind of person who's going to pay a premium and 5 years later you're not going to pay anymore, then it's a waste of money because the cash value is going to be less than what you put in. And I know I heard people say Dave Ramsey hates whole life insurance, and I understand why. It's because most people will not pay the premium for 11 years. They'll drop the policy, and if that's the case, they're going to lose money. If you're not planning on keeping your policy and paying the premium for at least 11 years, you're losing money, okay? If you're using this like a savings account, all right? Now, if you're going to keep it for a long time, it can grow. It'll grow. And it's pretty safe depending on which whole life insurance company you use. A lot of these companies have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they paid out their dividends even when there was Great Depression, and even during the housing crisis, they've always paid their dividends. So they can be very reliable. So I think that's another reason maybe that. Also, when you take money, I forgot, this is one of the biggest benefits that whole life people tell me. So it's growing at 3%. Now this growth is all tax. There's no taxes on it because whole life insurance growth inside the policy is not taxed. Okay, so all this growth is not taxed. If you put your money in a savings account, which by the way is not making that much, okay, it's only making 1%, you are taxed on that 1.9% or whatever you're making. You're taxed on it. Now in a whole life policy, you don't pay taxes, okay? Now when you take the money out, if you're taking a loan, you can do this thing called a loan, borrow your cash value and pay it back. If you borrow it out, you're not paying any taxes on it. So if it grew a lot by the time your kids go to college and you borrow it and pay, and then have your kid pay you back or you pay it back, you don't pay any taxes on that. So that is that's probably why my accountant likes it. That's why that is another benefit of whole life insurance. Okay. So I hope that kind of tells you roughly what's going on there. That is my understanding of it. If it changes, I'll let you know. But as far as I can tell, and I've spent a lot of time looking at tables, asking my insurance advisor to do all these scenarios. What if I do paid up additions and and just figure it out. And so there you have it. Now, the last option, we went through home equity, we went through rental property equity, we went through 529, Roth IRA, whole life insurance. The last way to save money for college is other businesses or something else, right? It's like maybe you can make a lot more money if you just started a business, became very successful at it, so that by the time your kids are in college, you're a business owner and you're just really good with money. You've created the next chain restaurant, And so that's another idea, just be an investor, just grow businesses, and that might be the best way to send your kids to college because you become rich, right? And that would be something that Robert Kiyosaki would probably recommend. He's that guide to investing. I've been reading it. He's like, get into business, start businesses, learn to be good at creating money from nothing through business. Hi, Mahabagla, welcome. So that's the other option. Now that obviously requires a lot more creativity. You have to be able to learn new skills. You have to figure out what kind of business you want to do, but that is another option, and it's a very valid option because if you get business skills, you can teach that to your kids while they're growing up too. So you can learn business skills, make more money, and then teach your kids how to be better at business. And by the time they go to college, maybe they'll make their own college tuition. Okay, that's my final option. So the final option is also a very, very valid and good option, okay? So, and that's something that I'm exploring with my husband too. We're looking for ways to grow businesses, how do we make businesses successful, things like that. Okay, thank you for being on this live with me today. I appreciate everyone who's been here. Thank you. If you missed some of it, you can always watch the replay. All you have to do is go back and see it again. You can follow me on Periscope, subscribe on YouTube, and just there's a link under this YouTube video where you can go to the full blog post. And if you're on Periscope, just click the link in my profile and you'll go to the blog. And the right side has all my blog posts. If you scroll down, they're all there. And I've written out most of what I said today, not all of it, so I will continue. It was nice hearing you. It's nice having you on. Thank you for joining. So I will see you all next week with another great topic. I will email you once I figure out what that topic is. So get on the email list at yesfinanciallyfree.com. I want you guys to have a great day. Aloha and take care. Bye.